Wild People Podcast. Watch and listen as I interview some of the most interesting and exciting people while they tell you the wild and inspiring stories of their lives.
I was really starting to get in tune with that idea of keeping positive energy around me, doing my best to put off positive energy and trying to grow that way.
Chuck bugs. And I was like, well, Chuck bugs. We're in Delhi, New York,
Right.
you know, freaking trout streams galore. So,
Right.
You Chuck bugs.
All the people that we meet in our lives, we got to appreciate that. You know?
And just
like,
think if there was more people,
Yeah.
which there is a few, but if there was more people that think like we do, how great this place would be.
Yeah.
But the road back from something like that is long, right?
Yeah,
And
man.
if you're standing at the bottom of that hill looking up it,
Yep.
it's pretty easy not to take the first step.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah.
I had to do my part.
Yeah.
That's all I could say. I had to do my part. Everyone else got drafted and things. A lot of people, they all did their job.
That flag represented each and every one of us and what we fought for.
Welcome to the Wild People Podcast, part of the Wild series presented by Steve's Restorations and Hot Rods. I'm Steve Hale, your host, and our mission on this podcast is to bring you conversations with some of the most incredible people in the world. At least that's what I feel. I feel very blessed to have a lot of people like this in my life. The man that we're going to be talking to here today is my good friend, Danny Sequin. Now, I met Danny back in probably 2007. I was really just starting out in my business, and I needed some help doing some pinstripe projects, and I always heard of a man called the legend, Shaky Dan, who had done a lot of work for my father over the years and a lot of different businesses doing hand lettering and hand pinstriping. So I reached out, and I met Dan back then in 2007 when I like I said, I was just starting out my business, and I was really fortunate to have become great friends with him. He's become one of the best friends to me throughout my career and my life since then. And, you know, that's kind of one of the reasons I started this podcast, and we wanted to start it, is because I feel so fortunate to have so many great people in my life, and I get to have conversations with them and learn so much that really impacts my life. And I'm hoping my mission with this podcast is that you guys will get to listen in to these conversations and pick up a few tidbits and some pointers that you might be able to use in your life to inspire you to live your wild ride to its fullest potential. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, my great friend, Mr. Danny Sequin, the legend, Shaky Dan. What do you think, Danny? How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good.
Good. Looking pretty good.
But it's been a long ride, I guess you could say that. I've painted about 80-mile radius Utica. I've done road signs. I did all the Vernon Downs signs at one time in Vernon Downs and getting them set for racing.
Yep.
And I did all the Vernon signs, road signs.
Yeah.
Did all them.
When was that, Danny, when you were doing all the Vernon Downs stuff? That's like the 70s or 80s?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Yeah. That was probably a fun time to be in business, huh?
I'd go and do a road sign. I'd be out near the Finger Lakes. I'd go in to do a sign 10 by 20. I'd do it by myself. Prime it, letter it, and I'd be done with the car headlights showing on the... Pull my truck up, put the headlights showing on the... And I'm up there painting because I didn't want to go back the next day. I had another job to go on, you know.
Right.
So I worked night and day, working ungodly hours, but it was fun.
Right.
Something I enjoyed painting. I did actual painting of the horse.
Yeah, for Vernon.
And Vernon and everything.
Yeah.
I'd be out in Albany doing one, or here and there, wherever they had one, I was there.
Yeah. Well, that's like we were talking about before we started recording, was that you were never afraid to work hard on something. If you wanted to do it and you thought you could do it, you'd go for it. And I think that's a pretty important thing that people realize. If they want to do something, they got to go for it. Right?
I didn't have quit in my dictionary.
Right. That's the key.
Winner, wasn't going to be a loser.
Yep.
No, I learned a lot from the old timers. I picked up a lot of ideas over the years. I worked with some of the old guys that they called them wall dogs.
They were the guys that did the murals on the walls, wall dogs.
Wall dogs.
Oh yeah.
Jack Seifert was one of the best I've ever seen. Jack, he'd get a hold of me and Danny, we got a wall to do. Can you get away? I said sure. We'd be in Albany. We'd be in Poughkeepsie or wherever this. Jump in the truck and go.
Yeah.
He was like me.
Yeah.
He liked me because I wouldn't quit.
Yeah.
We're going to paint it with a candlelight by candlelight if we have to, you know.
That's cool.
It's all about getting the job done and making the customer happy. That's how it built our business.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, we did a friend of mine did a mural in Utica a few years back, and Aaron filmed the whole thing and called it Wall Dogs, and because that came from my buddy Bill Lem. Remember, you know Lem Art? Bill Lem, he's helped me out a lot over the years, and he loaned us some brushes and stuff and started saying, talking about wall dogs and doing murals on walls, and that's where that came about. But yeah, she did that mural probably 4 years ago now, right? Yeah.
We had that traveling van.
So.
What was it? Some kind of a service truck. He turned into a.
Yeah. Yep. The big van.
Pull in. Cut their signs out, put them on and go.
Yep.
Lemart.
Yeah. Well, we've teamed up on projects where both of you guys have helped out over the years. Yeah.
He was quite the guy too.
Yeah. He's a good guy. Yeah. We'll have him on the show one day.
I was up to Humphrey's lettering the truck, and he was up there lettering the truck.
Yep.
And come here, let me show you the inside my. He's so proud.
Yeah.
The way he had it all set up.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And I wanted to do the same thing, but I wanted to go to fairs all over the state.
Right. Huh.
And I had my ideas with that, but.
Well, back before you were pinstriping, really, Dan, your whole work ethic came from your early days on the farm, right?
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
My father, I was only 10 years old, if that, 9 or 10 years old.
Yeah.
My dad was a French Canadian.
Yeah.
And his mother was part Indian,
right,
half Indian.
Okay.
And the other half French.
Yeah.
Anyways, what he would do with me is take me to bed at 9 o'clock at night, get up at 5 in the morning.
Right.
At 10 years old.
Yeah.
There's no toys and screwing around.
Right.
You know? So this is the way I learned how to work.
So now this is when you were that was like in the 40s, Danny?
Well, I was born in 56.
36.
36.
You were born, yeah. Okay, so it was in the 40s, yeah. So now that was your grandmother you were talking about?
My grandmother, grandfather,
Did you know them? They were alive?
Yeah, I knew them for a short time. They were still alive, and I got pictures of them in the log cabins, and this is how they come in. My father, they liked him. He was a little Frenchman.
Yeah.
My people weren't huge, like I'm 6 foot tall.
Right.
And they're all 5'5" or something like that.
That's cool.
But they were tough guys.
Well, they were born in the 1800s, right in the middle of the 1800s, probably.
They would cut logs down and they'd get jammed up.
Yeah.
And my father used to be a dynamite man.
My dad used to do that too.
Run across the logs, set up dynamite, and run like hell.
Yeah.
And boom, the logs flying through the air. But he showed me quite a few things that they used to do.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
You're a kid at 12, 14 years old.
Right.
Lumberjacks harass you, beat you up, punch you.
Yeah.
So my father, who grew up, he was one of the biggest arm wrestlers. You would have loved him.
Was he really? Yeah.
And nobody could beat him.
Yeah.
Nobody.
That's
A
awesome.
little Frenchman would grab, want to do one or two.
Yeah.
We'll try to go two, pull him right up over the bar.
That's great.
Set him down. I'm going to try one now.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Zap him.
He was a strong guy, huh?
Yeah.
From all that.
I got my free glass of orange. He got his glass of wine. Just wine.
That was it, huh?
My people were all wine people.
Really? How much? He would drink one glass of wine a day, or a lot of the wine a day?
One glass.
One glass at nighttime.
Water glass, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that was a secret. I should add that in my arm wrestling training.
Yeah, wine's good for you. Use it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
go get my bomb.
Yeah, I was drinking it for a little while before when I'm not
I
doing
did- I
that
did
75 hard program. but-
Vinegar, I just drink vinegar for.
right. It makes you a little fat if you drink too much of it, though, doesn't it?
I never got fat.
No. Well, that's
Well,
because you
it
were
was-
always working so hard, right?
I get done working, I go lift weights. You know,
Yeah.
that was crazy.
When you were in your teens,
Yeah,
was that when you were doing your milk run too?
yeah.
So that was that your first business? You
Cans
think?
weighed 126 pounds apiece. I used to pick them up and set them on the back of the truck.
How many cans would go in
like
the
a
truck?
feather. It was nothing.
Yeah. How many cans would you
120.
put? You put 120 cans in the truck, or no? Or how many cans would the truck hold?
It was a pretty good sized truck. I don't remember exactly. I'd have to think.
They were 120-pound cans. I got you.
120-pound cans.
Right. Yeah. How old were you then?
That's when I bought my car. That's how I got with my mother
Yeah.
don't miss a payment. So I went out and hustled a business.
That's right.
The guy that had the business was tired of it. He was an older guy.
Yep.
So I said, I'll do the milk route, and I'll make my car payments and have cash in my pocket.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that.
Nice. That was in the 50s then.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you were like a late teenager then at
Yeah.
that point. Yeah.
Yeah, you got. I may be off for a year or two or here or
Yeah.
there, but it's kind of hard
Something
to remember them. I've been around for a long time.
I know. That's pretty
But,
cool. That was probably a fun time to be alive, though, wasn't
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I was a rich kid.
Yeah.
Like, oh, here comes Sequin, the rich little boy. Look at Mama bought him I'd say, Mama bought him a new car.
it? Yeah.
I'd say, let's go talk about it behind Cupid's.
Yeah.
You know.
And that was how you guys would settle
Wouldn't
things.
go out talking
Right.
to me about it.
Uh-huh.
That's the way you want to end
Yeah.
up. That's the way you go on.
Then
I
were,
got an East Utica ahead of me, back of me.
yeah.
All my friends were in East Utica.
Were you buddies after that or no?
You know, they just
Have your
they,
friend.
no.
Nah. No, just settle it and be done.
My friends were
Yeah.
I can't think of their name, all Italians. One thing about Italians, if you got an Italian friend, and this is told to me, like, they'll
Yeah.
back you up
Yeah.
no matter what. You know?
Yeah.
And that's what I went by.
Yep.
And that's the way I got through Utica. I knew a few people all over, but East Utica was my happy.
Yeah.
That was my home.
Right. Well, that's my mom's 100% Italian, so I'm half Italian. So that side of the family, they all stick together for sure.
Oh
That's-
yeah.
yeah.
Well,
That's good.
Italian.
What nationality are you, Danny?
French
Hun-
and Irish.
French and Irish.
Half,
Yeah, that's
half and half.
yeah. That's I'm 50% Irish, 50% Italian. Yeah. My dad's Irish. So you learned to pinstripe by painting milk cans.
That's
then.
how I got all my new cars. I had a 55 Chevy,
Yeah.
55 Chevy, 60 Ford, convertible, 63 Ford,
Yeah.
70 Mercury Marquis. I had all 3 or 4 brand new ones, plus the used ones were 2 years old I bought.
And you were paying for all those with the milk run?
With that, no, I was in the furniture hauling business. I hauled
Yeah.
feed for the feed store in Whites Road, a little feed store.
Yeah.
I used to do all their hauling.
Yeah.
My name was on the roster If you want anything hauled, call Danny.
Yep.
He don't care what time it is. People call at 10 o'clock at night. You got to move.
Yeah.
We're going to get thrown out. You just got to move us.
Yeah.
That's the way, and
Then
I'm
you
working
come.
around the clock.
Really?
But I got all the work. I made all the money. I always had a pocket full of money.
Yeah.
I had more money when I was growing up than I did after I got married.
Yeah.
I didn't have
That's-
no truck to do any hauling. That would kill me right there.
Right.
And there's a lot of things, I didn't have access to.
But you put that into your family, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which you're pretty blessed to have an incredible family that loves you. A lot of good people. Yeah.
But how it depends on how you want life, I had one baby after the other,
Yep.
a wife and 4 little birds to feed, and you got to do it. You got to work. You got to create
Yeah.
jobs.
By that point, you already had your sign business going, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I found a piece of material,
Yeah.
piece of tin. I painted a mural on it,
Yep.
and I went down to Louis Signs. I said, Louis Vica, tough.
Yeah.
I said, I'm looking to get a job here. Oh yeah, what can you do? You do anything? He looked at me, Yeah, I can paint. Show me what you're doing. I brought that piece that I painted.
Yeah.
I painted a picture of the guy running with a can of paint
Uh-huh.
and a brush, and showed him that, which they still had it today. He says, you can't use you. I said, what do you mean can't use you? Oh, it's a beautiful job, but I can't afford to keep you. Take you too long to do it. You got to do it in less than half the time.
Right.
That's how I got
Gotcha.
speed. Learn how to all the jobs I create.
Right.
Feed store, moving, milk route.
Yeah.
Everything I had money to do with it. And I'd work till 10 o'clock at night, go take a shower, and go out in the town, get home at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I sleep 4 or 5 hours a night my whole life.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just
And you never slept more than that?
no.
Really?
Not until I ran to a culvert. I guess they slowed me down.
Yeah.
I fell asleep
say?
at the wheel.
Really?
Yeah.
Then you started sleeping longer nights?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It almost killed my hound. My hound sitting on the front seat almost went through the windshield.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, and another day I ran right up a snowbank, just like that.
From
Lord was-
sleeping?
Yeah, the Lord was warning me.
Uh-huh.
So after
Yeah.
that, I cut back on the hours. Yeah,
Right.
I worked at Skin Central. I worked there 40 hours running the machines and running the farm. I had to dwindle the farm down because I couldn't run a full-fledged farm,
Yeah.
because we're putting in 6,000 bales a hay.
Yeah.
So
It's a lot of work.
I had to drop the farming back, get rid of most of the cows. Now I need money. So now I got to work. I got a job in a factory. I worked at Chicago Pneumatic, Kelsey Hayes, Bendix.
Right.
I was a machine operator. I was setup man. I
Really?
used to set up all these big presses. And
So was that was before you did your sign business then?
Yeah.
Or that was at the same time?
probably the same time. I
Really?
was doing some signs.
Yeah.
Wasn't making a lot of money at the sign. I
Right.
struggled to
Yeah.
build that. That's why I said right there,
Yep.
that helped me get into business because
When you made your star design?
yes,
Yeah.
star design, the way my layouts.
Yep.
I learned a lot from these old timers working
Okay.
with them.
Yep.
You know?
But then you did the signs and the lettering full time after for a while, right?
Yeah.
For a long time.
For a long time. Yeah.
Yeah. You had a lot of business for
I
a long
had
time
part-time
too, didn't you?
businesses,
Yeah.
full-time signs, part-time businesses.
Other businesses on the side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever
Right.
it took.
How you had some people working for you for a little while too, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I had a shop in Frankfurt, I had 2 shops in Frankfurt. I had one in New Hartford, small shops.
Yep.
And I moved them around. Yeah, I had. I need you for a couple of days.
Right.
Or this one for a day.
Yep.
I send guys. I got sick of it. One day I've had it. I paid cash.
Mm-hmm.
And which the sales tax wouldn't appreciate. I shouldn't talk too loud. Because when I'm wheeling and dealing, it's cash deals. You know?
Yeah.
I'll give you a price. And, no receipt.
Right.
And I belong to sales. Sales tax used to be on Genesee Street in Utica.
Yeah.
I can show you where they were. That's where they started. So I had a system, and don't ask me how I did it. My wife didn't like it. I said, "You like eating on it, taking the family out on a weekend, taking 4 kids out and feeding them, and you don't talk to me about hours."
Right.
She hated my hours.
Yeah.
But we ate. It was very important to me. Food is like Italians.
Right.
Big time.
Yep.
We're going to eat.
Yep. Had to
We
put
always
food
ate.
on the table.
Oh, that's a big thing.
Yep.
That's the way I was. So I worked a lot of hours, and but it was good.
Right.
Because it got me, eventually I bought a house and this and that.
Yep.
But it was quite a struggle.
Yeah. You feel like you were always struggling, Danny, having a business, or no? Did you get to a point when you felt like you weren't struggling?
I didn't struggle by doing the jobs or nothing. It's just I had too much work.
Too much work, not too many bills, too much work to do.
Yeah, because I got people coming in. Danny, you got to do this. Weiser Jewelers in America.
Yeah.
I used a bodyguard too. Unreal. You had to go to.
You had a bodyguard?
I was a bodyguard.
Oh, you were the bodyguard.
I was it's backup.
Yeah. For who?
For Weiser Jewelers.
Oh, for the jewelers. Sure, I got you. Yeah.
You needed somebody to, look like it was a hood or something. Yeah. It might have been a mafia guy.
Did you ever have to rough anybody up?
We were in Mexico. We were in places in Mexico you wouldn't want to even think about being in.
For the jewelry store?
Yeah.
What were you?
He was an importer. I was the backup.
Ah, I got you.
I'm telling you, I did some crazy things in my life.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So you were a pretty rugged dude when you were younger then, huh, Danny?
Yeah, I thought I was.
Yeah. That's good.
But I could talk big.
Yeah.
But all my friends were bigger than me, and they backed me up.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's
it's
important to have a good crew of friends. That's an important thing.
Nobody pounded on me because bigger would be coming along.
You know what story I like that you tell me sometimes, Danny, about your wife and the motorcycle when you first met her? How's it? What happened? No.
Oh, I had to have everything.
Yeah.
Some idea gets. I talked to a friend of mine that had a motorcycle.
Yeah.
I said, "Boy, I wish I had one, a Harley."
Yeah.
I named it Shake, Rattle, and Roll. That was my Harley.
Yeah.
I would jump on that thing and go to Old Forge. I was a loner.
Yeah.
I rode alone. If I had a girl on the back.
Yeah.
Or alone.
Yeah.
I didn't hang out with all my buddies.
Yeah.
And but anyways. I would ride to Old Forge, get to Old Forge. Oh my God, you got oil all over the place. It's spraying oil. It's a mess. I got
an old Harley.
Old Harley. Took the clutch out, clean all that. Here I am, in a situation. Going back to Utica, because my cousins in Thurn had a hotel in Thindera. That's where my base was. Going back, coming down that big hill, coming into Utica.
Yep. I was doing that this morning.
Went up there chain jumped the sprocket.
Yeah.
Don't know how. Probably because I prayed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I just didn't move. I just coasted. I come to a stop. I said, oh, my God, I made it.
Uh-huh.
I made it.
Yeah.
That was my Harley.
Yeah.
And I'd be flying up and down the road. I'd be throw a girl in the bag, go to the beach, go here, go there.
Yeah.
Get home, I got to wash it all down because it's leaking oil left and right.
Yeah.
And
Well,
my wife said, oh, that's what happened.
Yeah.
My wife, she said, what are you going to do with that? I said, we're going to ride. No, we're not going to ride.
Mm-hmm.
I said, what do you mean? I said, I just bought this thing.
Yeah.
You got to ride with me. You're not riding it. Get rid of it. I said, just bought it. I'm going to get rid of it.
Yep.
She says, okay. I'll figure something out. I got a hold of her girlfriend. I said, we're going for a motorcycle ride.
Yeah.
I don't know, you might get beat up by Joni, but we're going on a ride.
Yeah.
So I started riding her, all her relatives, and all the girls
Yep.
on the motorcycle.
Yep.
And she says, she's the boss, you know.
Yep.
This is what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to sell that, or I'm going to leave you. I'm going to give you a choice.
Mm-hmm.
It's just me or this.
Yep.
So I ended up having the motorcycle for a few months, not very long.
Right. And then that was the end of the motorcycle.
Yeah.
Was she still friends with her girlfriend afterwards?
Oh, yeah. They were first cousins or something,
Yeah. That's good.
It was me. I was my fault.
Right. Yeah.
They jumped on the back of it.
Uh-huh.
Tucking their fingers under my belt.
Uh-huh. Trouble, Danny.
Oh, yeah. That
Trouble.
was an exciting ride. But
Yeah.
I was at the hill climbs with it. I didn't hill climb.
Yeah.
I wanted to, but too steep.
Yeah. Where was that? Up like by Snow Ridge?
Bridgewater.
Yeah. Yep.
And on the way out, it started to rain. I said, "Oh, we're gonna get so I'm kind of jazzing it a little bit.
Yeah.
When it's raining.
Yeah.
It's grass
Yeah.
like that. Crash. She went one way, I went the other.
Really?
Got it back on it. Got back to Utica.
Uh-huh. Lucky. Yeah. Now, was that before or after you went to California?
Oh, that California, I had to go. It was, let's see, 1962.
Yeah.
I think it was 1962.
Yeah. How long was that trip altogether? Like,
Oh, it wasn't very long.
right,
A
can't
few-
remember you said.
Within a week. Here's what happened is when we decided to decided to get married because I could be here forever. My father-in-law were trying to kill me because I hid their daughter.
Yeah.
They used to go to California
Yeah.
and visit relatives. And they go out for when he was laid off, so they'd be out there for 2 months at a time.
Right.
And I hid my wife from him. The cops looking at everybody, couldn't find her.
What do you mean you hit her? What happened?
I got her best girlfriend and hide her. So when my father-in-law come over, I stick her under the bed.
Why, he didn't want you dating her?
No.
He didn't like you?
She didn't like me. He liked me. He thought he was funny. But
Right.
my mother-in-law.
Oh, your mother-in-law didn't like you. Right. Yeah. Did you end up getting along with her after you guys got married?
Not all the time.
No.
We had our ups and downs.
Right.
And then I used to go out and get drunk.
Yeah.
And then they'd flip her. My mother would be flipping.
Yeah.
That's why she didn't like me because
Yeah.
him and I were buddies, and we'd go out there. When you got done work,
Yeah.
let's go have a beer. We did. Nothing. We didn't do nothing wrong.
Right.
And we had boating incidents and fun with the boat. And
Yeah. But you and her drove out to California together, right?
here's how it started out. What happened was, I said, I said, oh my God. I said, we're going to, this is wintertime, I guess.
Yeah.
I said, I got all brand new tires on here, but I got to. Now I don't have. I got $95 in my pocket.
Yeah.
After I bought the tires, and I had to buy snow tires and put it on because I figure we'll never get there going through the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, we stayed overnight at my cousin's house in Ohio. We took off and we ate bologna sandwiches. I'd never want another bologna sandwich again.
Yeah.
Bologna sandwiches with mustard and water and soda or whatever.
Yep.
So we ate all the way to California. We got arrested, almost got arrested, on the way out. We were coming through a town at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Wow! Oh, Jesus, the cops. Well, it's over. What are you doing? They got the...
He had his hand on his gun, huh?
Looking at his gun for. I didn't shoot nobody.
Uh-huh.
Right? Had us in the station.
They brought you into the station and everything?
Oh, yeah. I see bars, the hold-up room.
What do you get you for, speeding?
No. What are you doing out here? You know,
Yeah.
At 4 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
I said, I'm trying to go to California. I was.
Right.
And I was upset about it. I says, I'll tell you what. I says, call my cousin. He's a Oneida County sheriff in Oneida County.
Yeah.
And I told him how to get him.
Right.
And he'll verify who I am.
Yeah.
So I went through hell with that.
Right. So why'd they arrest you? They just thought you guys were up to no good?
Yeah. At 4 o'clock in the morning, nobody's on the road. Especially little towns.
Right. What was that? Were you on Route 66?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the ways in 66.
Yeah.
And then to beat that, the next day we're flying through Indianapolis.
Mm-hmm.
Went by. I said, "Oh my God!" My wife's driving. I'm looking. I said, "Oh my God, we're going to a jail. We're doing 100 miles an hour." She's a hot, heavy foot.
Yeah.
And you've never seen the cop again. He must have. I heard they put dummy cars out there.
Right.
To slow people down.
Uh-huh. So you got lucky. Then you took over driving?
Yeah, I don't know if I was going to get us in jail. Pretty close to happening.
Yeah.
And
you're lucky they didn't keep you in there for a week like that. You know that old song, "The Week in a Country Jail"?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was a chicken. I didn't want to go to prison with them.
Yeah.
You know, gangsters, and I got to go to jail.
Yeah. So what happened when you guys finally made it out there?
Well, we got it out. I look at this road. This is about 3,000, thousands of miles straight on. And there's a turn in mountains. We never got to the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Just on and on.
Right.
We were driving, and
Yeah, you went just below them.
eventually we got to. We were coming into Gardena, Azusa. Gardena, I think it was Gardena. And we were coming into that town.
Yep.
It was, couldn't see. It was smog. Big time smog out there in California.
Yeah.
I'm headed for Azusa. I'm following the car taillights ahead of me. All I could see is the taillights.
Yeah.
And we were going 30, 40. I don't know how fast we were going. But I stayed right on this car in front of you. It hit his brakes, I'd hit his tailgate.
Yeah.
So anyways, got through there, got through Azusa, knocked on the door at 2 o'clock in the morning or whatever. And Tony Arcone from East Utica.
Yeah.
Tony had set himself up with a business. All kinds of animals. It was Noah's Ark was the name of his place.
Really?
He had built one, going to build another one.
Yeah. Noah's Ark? What was it, like an animal rescue or something?
No,
or
it was
like a...
just like you go to a store here, you want to buy goldfish or you want to buy
Oh, it was like a pet
monkey.
store. You want to buy a monkey?
You sold everything.
Really?
And that's when he got me. So he put me up for 2 or 3 nights till I had to get a job.
Yeah.
So here I am, bullshitting my way through life again.
Yeah.
I was a good talker because I said, I need money and I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
So I seen this ad, white front tire stores. Sounds good.
Yeah.
I like tires.
Right.
So I go there, and well, what type of experience have you got? Got all kinds. I went through more tires than I did.
Yeah.
Burn them out.
Right.
And so I got the job. He said,
Yeah.
you know, you sound good. Come to work, suit and tie.
Yeah.
We're going to put you on the floor. And he goes, this is goes a tire.
Yeah.
This is the tire you got to sell. Don't sell anything but. I said, but it's going to blow the sidewalls out. That thing is like a rubber band. I said,
Yeah.
you can't do that. You like your job, you do it.
Those are the ones he wanted to unload.
You tell them, no, this is okayed by the highway patrol.
Right.
I had to lie.
Yeah.
I sold all brand new tires.
Uh-huh.
I did what my boss said to do.
Yeah.
He loved me. He says, he said, you've only been here 2 weeks. He says, but I like you. He says, we're going to open up a store. I'm going to make you assistant manager of the store.
Yeah.
Here I could walk into a job. My wife wouldn't. She's going to get out of there. She's going back to Utica.
Yeah.
I had quit my job that I only had for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Because she wanted to go back to Utica.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
She didn't care about. She was the kind of woman that wants me there 8 hours a day. That's my home hours.
Yeah.
And never you find a job that'll work around that.
Yeah. So that was the end of the tire sales.
Yeah.
And you guys drove back.
Oh, what a beautiful job! Like walking around outside in carts talking to people. What a beautiful job.
Yeah.
And I sold more tires than the assistant manager than the manager.
Right.
I'm blowing the tires out of the store.
Yeah. Well, who knows if you had stayed out there and not came back here, a lot of things would have been different.
Oh, totally different. Totally different.
What was like one of your favorite jobs that you remember, Danny, that you did over the years? You got any that stick out in your head when you think back on all your projects that you did?
Burroughs was the biggest one I had.
Yeah.
He'd call me up. Hey, I got 12 trucks. He says, got to be lettered this week.
Yeah.
I said, what are you talking about?
There's a lot of painting.
Demanding as hell.
Right.
Or else, one day I'm lettering a trailer.
Yeah.
No vinyl back then, all by hand.
Yeah.
Lettering a trailer in his yard.
Yep.
Using his yard.
Yep.
He says, I got to have this trailer lettered. I said, Fred, I said, you see me. I got to get this job done.
Yeah.
Then tomorrow I'll come. No, you won't come tomorrow. You'll come today. You won't have a job here.
Yeah.
That's why Fred was pusher.
Right.
And this is the way I went my life with Fred Burroughs. But people used to come to him and say, Fred, I can give you a better price than Danny. He says, I don't think so.
Yeah. He was faithful to you, and you were faithful to him.
Can you pinstripe? No. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Yep. That's good. That's how it should be, you know.
A lot of people back me up.
Yep. Yeah. When your customer takes care of you, you take care of them. You know, that's how it should work. One hand washes the other.
Yeah, I get tell you for 10 hours all the things that happened to me.
Yeah.
It was remarkable, and I always blamed it on Jesus. You know, Lord was with me.
Yeah. Yep.
And people don't realize how powerful that is. You know.
It's very powerful.
And I've been to different retreats. I've got involved with the Lord a little bit, but not as much as I should.
Yeah. Hey, he's always there, you know.
Yeah.
Danny, if somebody was ever listening to us talking down the road, is there any advice or anything that you'd want somebody to hear from you? What What's your best life advice?
I was the way I was brought up that you don't bring kids up like that today.
Yeah.
My grandson's 9 years old. He can do tricks with a computer. He's like this.
Mm-hmm.
9 years old. Me, it was like this.
Right.
So it's a totally different.
Yeah, it's
outlook. You know, the world's going too fast, I think. You know?
It is. It is. People always need to have something to, spike their dopamine. So I always have to be entertained. Constantly looking at a screen is different for sure. We didn't grow up like that either.
Used to drive my eyes crazy.
I know.
Looking at the screen, some people don't bother.
Right. When you were a kid, you were on the farm. You had all your farm animals to take care of. That's what kept you happy, right?
Oh, my God.
You guys used to road race a lot, huh?
Yeah.
Right over here, right?
Here to Old Forge. We'd go all the way to Old Forge.
Really? Yeah, that would be the race from Utica Old Forge?
Yeah.
Well, you would do quarter-mile drag races too, right?
Quarter mile.
Yeah.
Well, the quarter mile one was up in Rome, where the Rome driving used to be.
Yeah.
Where all the car dealers are now.
Yeah.
It's a 2 mile stretch. We used to drag up and down the cops come, and then we'd take off.
Yeah. How many people would be there? A lot?
Oh, 20, 30 probably.
Yeah.
And a lot of. We'd get chased out of Rome, get chased out of off the arterial.
Yeah.
Cops are chasing us all over the place. Go to Chicago Nomadic, you get chased out of there.
Right.
That's when I raced this character. I raced him. He had a modified Ford. We had 3 carbs on it. Oh, and my stopped Hemi Dodge.
Yeah.
That was stock. Going down through racing. We're getting close to the end of that road, you know that is.
Mm-hmm.
There's another road that comes into it.
Yep.
Well, I'm not a chicken. I ain't giving up. I give that big mouth dragon rights.
Mm-hmm.
I went under the barbed wire fence.
Yeah.
Ripped my brand new top, all ripped, all held.
Right into the field?
The barbed wire, barbed wire, ripped it all apart.
Uh-huh. How bad did it wreck the car? Not bad?
No.
No? What happened to him?
I don't know. I was scattered.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we're all, that was all.
Right. But you ended up winning, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. That's good. That's like the first time I used to snowmobile race when I was a kid. I used to go to the drag races.
Yeah.
And all my older brothers, they're all a lot older than me, and they were all tough too, and they were all about winning too. So the first time I went to a drag race, they told me, they said, whatever you do, don't let off the throttle. When the light turns green, hold it wide open and don't let off. Right? So light turned green. I'm like probably 5, 6 years old maybe. I held that thing wide open. I remember I went right through the finish line and I kept going. So now there's a patch of woods and there's a highway on the other end of it. God. So they all had to get on their bigger sleds and chase me through the woods. They caught me right before I got to Route 20. They're like, what are you doing? I said, you told me not to let off. So I did. So I won the race and drove right through the finish line and kept going.
Don't let off.
Yeah.
I'm racing Shirley Muldowney. You know who Shirley Muldowney is?
No.
Fastest woman drag racer in the country.
Oh, yeah, I do know that name.
I raced her when she was a little girl.
Really?
I had that super Dodge.
Was she from around here?
Yeah, Albany or Schenectady.
Okay.
But anyways, we're pulling up to race.
Yeah.
I'm racing her Plymouth. I'll get that Plymouth. So I'm sitting at the wire at the beginning, and I got my foot right on the gas, and my tires are just moving.
Yeah.
Just moving a little bit. I'm gone. And she was the best woman driver, believe me.
Yeah.
I nosed her out at the fish wire. She said, left it, and she was screaming because she lost. She didn't believe in losing.
Uh-huh.
She lost the race, and she flipped. She wouldn't even talk to me, screaming, swearing at me.
Yeah.
I said, what can I tell you? It was not my fault I won.
Sorry. That's probably why she became so good, though. They say that...
She was one of the best in there.
they say that people who hate losing more than they like winning are the ones that usually end up winning down the road.
She was about that. I always bragged about that. Says,
right. But you got to like losing
trophy,
to get there.
a little trophy like this. I was happy with that.
Yeah. Well, we better wrap it up, Danny. What do you think?
Sounds good. It's good to remember all this.
Yeah, thanks for sharing some stories with me,
I did the
Danny.
impossible, you know.
I know, you've had a wild ride in your life.
It was a wild ride.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, Danny, thanks for sitting down and hanging out with me, man. We'll put some pictures into some artwork and show everybody all the incredible things you've done over the years.
I did. There's a lot of big corporations.
Oh, yeah. Well, you've inspired me to do a lot of jobs. Helped me out a lot over the years. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, you've got your binder where all the pictures are, right?
Yeah,
we'll look through it.
That stack that high.
It's incredible.
The sad part of it is I didn't do the real old ones I wished I had.
Take pictures of them, you mean?
Yeah. I didn't do it.
I don't know. Yeah.
Because when I went to sell a job, all I do is throw it down and walk away. I go have my coffee.
Right.
They'd look over everything. Yeah, we want this, we want this.
Yep.
That was my salesman. I didn't have to talk.
Right. Work sold itself. Yeah. Well, that's because you're a legend.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Let's go get something to eat or something, huh, Danny? What do you think? All right. Well, hey, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed listening to Danny's story. And check out all these pictures that we're going to share here of his incredible artwork over the years. In the meantime, till the next one, get out there and live your wild ride. See you guys on the next one.